Hello and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. So a great number of people watched my author authority video, but some of them came back and said that we have no idea whether or not Google is collecting author information and whether or not this will help their websites rank. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you that Google is collecting that information. I'm going to prove that it works. I'm going to prove that it helps you rank. I'm also going to show you how to find out if Google is making that connection to you as a content creator, to you as an author, and the work that you produce. And so you know that the effort you're putting in is going in the right direction. The important thing to keep in mind here is that most people, most SEOs are not using this. So this is an opportunity to dive in and use this method, especially the method that I discussed in my author authority video. And I'm going to have a separate video about creating creator authority. But this video is just more of a validation to show you guys that this does work. Google wants you to do this. It's a big part of EAT that nobody talks about and nobody utilizes. And if you do this correctly, you can rank in just about any niche and any vertical, regardless of how competitive, because so few people are doing it. The trick here is establishing yourself as an authority. The other thing to keep in mind is that it takes time. So you're looking at around a year of work. It's also expensive because you're doing a lot of work. You're trying to get yourself into authoritative media. You're trying to get yourself into media itself, so press releases and stuff. You're also trying to create a boatload of profiles. You're also trying to create creations that Google picks up and associates with your content. And you're also trying to create your own voice, which is unique from everyone else, unique from AI in particular, so that Google establishes you as that industry's authority. And all of that takes time and it's also expensive to do. But if you do it, it's going to be hard to beat. Okay, so enough talk, let's jump into this. Okay, so Google recently added this feature to their knowledge panel. So if you search for an author or you search for a creator, Google adds this category here. And so Google associates this creator with this category. And so Google has been doing this for quite a while, but Google has now gone full on and begun to associate creators with the categories. So if you watch my previous video on how to build author authority, you'll see that I go through the steps that you need to take to build that author authority. Another way of looking at it is author authority is also creator authority. But as an author, you're just limited to, let's say, articles. But when you start to create creator authority, you're also creating authority in terms of your social media presence, which is also part of author authority, but you're also focusing on it a lot more. And so if you look at this over here, Carmen Ellison, who's a content creator, and she's in the travel industry, and so she creates a lot of travel-related content. So you'll see that not only there are her pictures from Instagram, but there's also her Instagram profile. There's also her website. So right off the bat, all of this stuff, which are like 3 or 4 pages, if you search for her, is all hooked up to her name, and her name is plugged in to the travel industry and as a content creator. And so this is what you would need to do for Google to start seeing you as an authority in your industry. So it's not just writing content that a lot of SEOs just focus on, but it's also now a lot about creating that authority as an author. If you missed my videos on the Google algorithm update, if you missed my videos about the Google algorithm leak, then this is a refresher for you. So Google uses the isReference API that mainly looks at people's profile pages, and it also looks at the isAuthor. So the isAuthor is a sub-API of the isReference, and the isAuthor is collecting information about people's publications, where people have published their articles and the articles they've written. And so all of this, so the articles that you write and the publications that you contribute to is part of your isAuthor, is collected by the isAuthor API. which is part of the isReference API. But if you look at the isReference API, it's also looking at your profile pages. So this is not just profile pages for social media, but it's also profile pages on websites like Medium. And if you go through my video on how to create author authority, you'll see, there are quite a few places that you want to create those profile pages on. And if you're trying to do it for a specific industry, then you'll need to find industry-specific websites to create that authority on. And this is instrumental in not only helping you rank yourself, but also helping you rank the content you write. Because anywhere, you write content, it is instantly associated to you. And if you're already an established authority or content creator in Google's eyes, that will rank like a rocket. So this is a Kali Q Pro, and these guys collect information, a lot of information, which I think you should check this out. So they have a knowledge graph algorithm. So what these guys do is they would collect information on the knowledge graph algorithm, amongst other things. And so as you can see, this is all the updates that Google is making to the knowledge graph algorithm. So starting from June 2022 to September 13, 2024, there are like a dozen updates. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So around over a dozen updates just in the past few months. And so you can see that author authority and content creator authority is now bigger than ever before. And I'll show you later on in this video exactly how you can determine whether or not the efforts you are putting into are working, and if Google is really associating your name with your author authority. But the implications for more modern SEO, so traditional SEO, so you'll do the traditional SEO, you still need to do all of the traditional SEO stuff, and you'll still need to optimize your content, create the content authority. Again, you need to have a solid topical map, not just write and everything under the sun. You'll also need to make sure that your technical SEO is on point. And so all of the traditional SEO stuff that you've always been doing, and then you need to optimize content for the creator. And so this would mean that as a creator, you will need to add your voice to it. Okay, so this can be anything. It's like a brand voice. So this can be something like you refer to certain terms in a different way. It can be you refer to certain industry terminologies, or you come up with your own terminologies, and then you associate that with your profile. I'll make a separate video about how to come up with your own voice and how to brand your voice so that Google associates your articles faster with your profile. And then there's a publisher entity. So when you have a website, like I have cloudscodubai.com, Google sees that website as a publisher, okay? Now, if I create an author profile on my website, that is separate from the publisher profile. So even though it's linked, but Google looks at a publisher profile differently than it looks at an author profile. So just having your profile on your own website is not enough. You'll need to have it in quite a few places. So here's a short checklist I put together. This is not a comprehensive checklist, so you'll need to have links. And if you've watched my video, I've talked about links. You have awards, qualifications, reviews, testimonials, media coverage, mainly press releases, and social media presence. And I think I put in links twice. So the prerequisites for optimizing the creator profile. So the term creator and author is used interchangeably in this case, okay? But there's a slight bit of difference. That being said, using the method I talked about above, that's maybe the first step. Using the method that I talked about in my author authority video is the first step towards establishing creator authority, okay? So your website would need to have an author bio. You'd also need to have mentions on third-party websites like Wikipedia. Now, this is a lot harder to get because Wikipedia has clamped down on a lot of this stuff, but it should not be as general as Wikipedia. So if you're trying to do it for a specific industry, try to find a publication, a third-party publication within that industry where you can post your profile and where you can post your articles. And now this will be industry dependent, so I can't give you exact links, but if you search for, you should be able to find them. And then you need to have a social media presence. So your social media presence is hooked up to your author bio, and even your third-party articles are hooked up to your author bio. The power tip here I'll give you is always use the same spelling of your name. So the way you spell your name should be the same across every profile that you create. The hobbies you mention should be absolutely the same across every profile you create. The picture should be a very clear headshot that you use. And I know people are going to say you can also create a pictureless author bio, which is fine, but it's not as effective as having a picture in your author bio. Finally, I'm going to show you how to check if Google has actually made that connection to your author bio. All right, so the way to find out if Google has associated your efforts to become a creator or an associated creator, or create your effective creator profile with the articles that you're writing and publishing, is to start by searching for an article, okay? So we're going to do this at random, and we're going to see how this works. So we're just going to search. So I just put in car reviews because I just want to find articles that we can test this on and see if Google has picked up the authors of these articles. Okay, so we'll pick this up. So in this case, Car and Driver is the publisher, okay? And the author is separate from the publisher, but in this case, the author is gonna be the publisher's author, all right? So just keep that in mind. So we're gonna search for this person over here and see if Google has picked this person up. And so we're gonna search for this article, and we're gonna put this in quotes. Okay, and then we're going to click these 3 buttons over here, and we're going to take a look. So about the source, Car and Driver magazine. So it has not picked up the author in this case, just the source. So it says here, source. Okay, so we'll try another article. Let's try this one. Let's see, this article, Drew Dorian. All right, let's see. Marketing in this case, this person is not associated with the article. So this is like Car and Driver is a huge website. So if you're a writer on this website, I mean, you definitely love cars and you know your stuff, but that does not necessarily mean that Google is recognizing you as a creator in that industry, because you haven't built all of those links that I talked about. And so Google is unable to make that connection. All right, so far we've not been able to find an article. So I'll go through this and do this and just show you guys when I find one. All right, so I switched to the iPhone 16 review and started searching for that. And now over here, when we clicked on the 3 buttons, those 3 dots over here, it brings up this about the source. Now, this is another very important part of creator SEO is you can see that they've been featured on Wikipedia, Reddit, Tom's Guide Reviews, and so all of these places is where they've been featured. So even though there isn't a author associated with this article, but because the author is the publisher, all of these sources have been associated with it. Now, if you look at this article over here, this is written by John Velasco, and this person maybe works for Tom's Guide. So if you click on his bio, so if we search for him, you can see he's the editor of this website, Tom's Hardware. And you also see all of his social profiles come up. Click these 3 dots about this result. It'll tell you about the result. And you can see all of the stuff he's published. So even though that specific article is not associated with him right now, it might be associated with him later on as Google picks this up. So when Google picks this up, so let's do an article that Google has picked up. Let's go to, all right, so I was able to find one, and this article was published back in 2015, on search engine land. So I went ahead and found this. I copied the title of the article, put this in quotes, pasted it, click these three dots, and we got it. So this is by Eric, and this is his bio, and this has been picked up. All right. Now the thing with this is that this was published back in 2015. So this person since 2015 has probably put in quite a bit of effort to market themselves, or, because this article is so old, the association has been made as compared to the newer articles, which Google has still not made the association with. So this is just an example to show you that this is how it will look once you're seen as you're seen as a creator by Google. And you can see there's a link to his book over here. So this is a very well done. And then, this is the publisher search engine land, and this is about the publisher search engine land. So in a nutshell, you can see that I put in a lot of effort to try and find an article where Google has linked the creator to what has been created, and very few, if any, are actually hitting the mark. So there's an opportunity here for someone to come in and, become a creator, create a great author bio using my methods, and then use that to rank their content sites or service sites. And this is one thing that would put you, a step ahead of your competition and help you rank faster and higher, and hit your competition with something that they wouldn't even know exists. All right, guys, so thank you for watching the video. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this. Like and subscribe as always, and happy ranking.